Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. And off camera, I did do some checking on Hendrick's skill trees and figured out what I want to do. Now, it may seem like it may seem kind of weird to have two characters with basic swords, but and what I'm doing here is I'm regaining the skill points that were used in his axe and greatsword tree because we're not going to use them. We're going to use his swords and shields. He actually has a shields skill tree, and there's some insane buffs. I wanted to have him with a greatsword, but after looking at the skills with the sword and the shield tree, especially the shield tree, I can't justify not giving him I'm going to give him the Hermes hat. Help fix his agility. He has agility issues. I'm also going to give him the Angel Sandals +2 for right now. And then we're going to pump his attack some more with that Dogged Collar +2. As soon as past gameplay me can find it. So, yeah, there are some really crazy shield abilities. There's like a passive buff of +40 defense and another one of +10 defense. Boosted block chance by like 6%. Like, how do you guys expect me to ignore this stuff? So I could either go with shields and axes or shields and swords. Axes have some, like, stronger one-shot effects, but I already know that I like swords because of the Falcon Slash that we're about to get here. And we have tons of skill points. We did pay a small fee just to get back some of the skill points from the great swords and axes that we're not going to be using. Oh, look at all this. Yeah, we definitely want the Falcon Slash. Attack power when wielding swords is up. Oh, we have another... We unlocked this thing. So this is like a Falcon Slash on steroids. It does 4 slashes, Falcon Slash level, in one turn. And if you hear that dog barking in the background, I do have a dog with me for a few days. I'm dog sitting for a family member. Miracle Slash, I don't really care much about Miracle Slash. I do kind of want to get Metal Slash, but I want to get some of this craziness over here. Here's Defense +10. Hey, we got 10 of his skill panels. And then... now I'm kind of running low on skill points after immediately. Yeah, look at that. Defense +40. That's insane. And it only works while you're equipping a shield, so... you can't equip a shield and use a two-handed greatsword, so for that reason, yeah. So it may seem a little bit odd to have 2 sword users and 2 shield users, but I think it's just what I feel is going to be best, and how I want to play the game. So I'm actually going to go for the shield boost first. We're going to have to get another level up to get that one. I was debating between either that or that juicy strength +20, which I could still get that right now. But I'm going to get the defense boost first, and then I'll get the strength +20. Or there's that other, that super Falcon Slash ability. Those are like the 3 that I'm debating between, but I'm going to get the shield abilities first, because Hendrick has a massive boatload of HP. Although I must say, Hendrick looks really weird holding a shield and a basic sword. I also think his outfit looks kind of weird. I kind of wish he still had that black Heliodor armor, because I thought that looked cool for him. And this just, it's not cutting it for me. So yeah, some other things. I'm attempting to... is this the Shield of Heliodor? I'm going to attempt to... that's not a good sign already. Attempt to reforge the Shield of Heliodor. Oh, come on, don't do that to me. And I don't have... Oh gosh, I only have 7 left, and I don't have... I guess we'll put it there. Oh, we'll see if this gets me anything. Even a +1 would be... no. Okay, so we are not good enough to reforge that yet. That's fine. We are going to reforge the Hermes hat. I think it's... we haven't tried to reforge this yet, or maybe we did and it didn't work out. Whatever. And I wouldn't mind having another user with the Falcon Slash ability and the like, because I know how well that ability has been working, and you know, it's just one of those things. I'm the type of person that will stick with something that I'm comfortable with before experimenting with something new. Or if I stick with one thing and I like it, even if there's like a better option, but I don't know it's a better option because I've never tried it myself, I just stick with, you know, what I've always done. This is why I end up doing Pokemon Nuzlocke challenges, if you're familiar with the Pokemon games and specifically the Nuzlocke rules. Basically, Nuzlocke rules are... you can only capture the first random Pokemon that you encounter on any given route. If you fail to capture it for any reason, then you just don't get to capture anything for that route. And the second rule is if a Pokemon faints in battle, it is considered dead, and you can no longer use it for the rest of the game. You either have to release it or put it in your PC and never use it again. And so, with those two rules, it kind of forces me to use a variety of Pokemon, many of which that I haven't ever used, because a lot of times in the Pokemon games, I will go through the game with, you know, the same 3 or 4 Pokemon, or same 3 or 4 types or similarity of Pokemon. For instance, in one game I might be using Kadabra, one of the Kanto games, but then when I get to Emerald or the Hoenn region, I use a Gardevoir. And yeah, there's differences between them, but they will function largely the same when you're playing through the main game. Gyarados is another one that I've used in like almost every playthrough where you can possibly use a Gyarados. So yeah, the Nuzlocke challenges force me into something new, but because otherwise I'm the type of person that will just keep using the same tried and true methods over and over. And I think it'll work out with, even if I do, well, I should preface with this first. If Hendrick is going to turn out as good as I think he's going to, I might just stick with Hendrick instead of Jade on my team of, my 4-person team. And I must say, I do like the characters, and they all feel like they can be very good characters to have around. I don't know, man, the fighters and their claws, and the speed. Of course, I've kind of fixed, Hendrick's speed here. We're in the Mango Grove. In a section of the Mango Grove we could not previously explore due to... the game didn't want us to explore it, I don't know. Yeah, I can get used to this.
Our triumph was never in doubt.
Hendrick is doing just a little bit less damage than Jace. Oh, and that was another thing for Hendrick. Since we got a second Falcon Blade, I reforged that one into a Falcon Blade +2 as well, so they both have the Falcon Blade +2. And for Jace, I'm just going to keep stockpiling skill points for right now. There is... I don't want to spoil things too much, because it's going to happen in several parts from now. So I guess I'll discuss I'll discuss his skill points in Luminary and things I'm thinking about later. But anyways, right now, what we have going on here is I'm about to get supremely lost in the Mangle Grove. It's going to completely mangle my sense of direction. It's a 3D game. You guys know this. I get lost so easily in these 3D environments. But this one's good. This segment might take the cake. I'm gonna get turned around like 5 times.
Our triumph was never in doubt.
And I'll give you guys a hint. I've already been going the wrong. I just wanted to go the path of progress. I'm already going the wrong way, but there is a good reason to come down here. I think we do get a mini medal down here. That makes me feel not as bad. So yeah, I was considering just going with axes for Hendrick, just to have just to have that variety. Because there is an axe skill that will do like 3 times the damage, but then when I saw the here's the treasure. Yeah, mini medal. So it's okay that we came this way. But then when I saw the... We've done so many battles already. We've only, like, been traveling... Well, the travel part has only been, like, 4 minutes so far. Oh, you made Jace angry. What was I saying? The Cyclops has completely wrecked my train. Oh. Mangle Grove, getting lost.
Victory is ours.
Okay to get lost. Axes. Oh yeah, axes. that was one of the 5 topics we were on. So with axes, there's a skill that does like triple the amount of damage. I think it's fairly expensive-ish. I don't remember the MP cost on it. It doesn't really matter too much. And then I was going to go into axes, but then I saw that the... I don't remember the actual name of it. Quadra Slash or Quadra Falcon. I'm just going to call it the Double Falcon Slash for right now until we actually get it. That's like a Falcon Slash, but with 4 slashes. I think it's a little bit more expensive MP-wise than the triple damage Axe Strike, but that is okay. Because the MP costs haven't been too ridiculous in this game. I know there's a couple abilities on Jace's skill tree that are like over like 25 or 16. 16 is the cost of the Super Falcon Slash. Double Falcon Slash, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna see how things turn out
well that ends
between Jade and Hendrick. I'm going to see if I can keep Hendrick's agility fixed. That's probably going to be the biggest factor between him and Jade. But dang, I don't know. I don't really want to get Jade out of the party because I love the fighter class in the Dragon Quest series. You guys know this. I've gone on and on and on about this, and I thought for sure that, okay, once I get my party back together, it's just going to be, you know, Jace, Jade, Rab, and Serena, and boom, we're good to go. And now Hendrick came in, and he's like, yeah, I'm better than you were ever imagining. And we also have, this double Dragon Slash here, Pep Up power. It only requires Hendrick to be pepped up, and it only uses his Pep Up. And yeah, that's going to be awesome when we're fighting dragons. Because it doesn't use... That one doesn't even use any ability points. But that's another thing with Hendrick. He'll also have Dragon Slash and Metal Slash. Although I guess with the claws... Jade has that Hawkeye Claw, which will function the same as Metal Slash, you know, always guaranteeing a hit. So I guess that's not really a reason to use one over another. Another reason to not necessarily use one over the other, Hendrick does have access to some defensive magic, specifically Ka buff and is it like Magic Bounce or Magic Shield? Something that increases our magic resistance. Basically a Ka buff, but for spells. And while those things are nice to have, I do appreciate those supportive abilities. I'm not going to factor that into using him over Jade, because Jade's role is kind of a damage. That spot on my team is really more of like a physical damage dealer. And while support abilities are always nice, and there might be situations where I'm going to use Ka buff and the Magic Shield if I continue with Hendrick once I get all my party members back, or at least the other 3 that I've been mentioning. But I'm pretty sure, I know Serena has Ka buff, and I'm pretty sure Rab has the other Magic Shield bounce thingy. I know what I was reading is Hendrick is the only character to have both of those spells, which is cool. But if my other 2 characters are already covering that, I don't really need the Hendrick / Jade spot on my team covering that role. Now, another thing that is going to be relevant between Hendrick and Jade is not just their speed, not just their HP and defenses. He's also a lot more defensive. That's just it. He is a lot more defensive than Jade. So yeah, really, Jade's only going to have the agility over him, and with the claws, claws are going to be better in the long run because the Falcon Blade is not going to last forever as far as damage output, and I think once we have to drop the Falcon Blade, I have a feeling that the claws won't be too far behind when it comes to outpowering. And also, she would get 2 shots at a critical hit every attack, and she has, increased critical hit chance with claws and whatnot. So those are some relevant things. And she has some abilities like the Crescent Moon ability, or whatever it is, that does the heavier damage to flyers. Yeah, I got so confused in the Mangle Grove. Just going back and forth, and then I kept checking the map, and I was like, where am I supposed to be going? How am I supposed to be getting there? And I finally found my way out. Good thing I've been, having stuff to ramble about. So yeah, and I don't think having 2 sword users, though, is going to be that much of a hindrance. Because I can... Oh, we have another new enemy. These are like the vicious Bodkin archers. I'm going to try and... We do have Boom. I'm going to make a mistake here. That was weak. Those things are poisoning. Okay, that is not okay. Hendrick, can you... We don't have a multi-group hit attack on him. We didn't on Jade either. Not really. There might be options for that in his skill tree, but it's not anything I'm prioritizing. Okay, you killed the one that just spawned. Okay, these guys aren't that tough. Let's use Boom. Okay, that's better damage output. And unfortunately, Jace does not know Squelch, and neither does Hendrick. Oh, that was another point. A point that will be different in determining, Hendrick versus Jade, is that Hendrick does have access to some light healing magic. He knows mid-heal, In fact, I think he's going to learn more heal the next time he levels up. And so that's something that Jade can't do, and that's something that can become very relevant, even though I know Jace, Rab, and Serena all have healing magic. But I certainly don't mind having all 4 characters with some degree of healing magic. If you watch my Final Fantasy Ultra Championship Edition, it's a hack of Final Fantasy 1 playthrough, I ended up with 3 of the 4 characters with healing magic on them. And it turned out very well. The only character that didn't have that was the Viking, because he was the only character that uses axes, and I definitely had an axe to grind. Hendrick does not have an axe to grind, though. I've got an axe to grind with these guys. They are really annoying. Can we finish one of them, please? Thank you. We can't quite kill these guys in one hit, as you can see. So it might be worth it, at least since I only have 2 characters right now, to be using Falcon Slash against them. Falcon Slash is really cheap ability. It's only 4 MP, and it's just a little bit stronger. I'm gonna say it's like it probably does like 120% damage instead of just 100% like our normal physical attack would do. So yeah, I should be using that against some of these guys, and there's a lot of enemies we're going to be running into where Falcon Slash will one-round them, but a normal physical attack will not. So, and it's, like I said, it's very cheap and efficient on the MP, and when we level up, we get a full restore on our MP anyways, and there's pretty much always a campsite or restore point before we fight a boss anyways, so the MP usage isn't that big of an issue when we're using so little of it at a time. It could be a little bit more of an issue now, though, since we don't have a dedicated healer, and we'll have to rely on Jace and Hendrick's magic for the time being. And yeah, and we don't have like Serena's abilities where she gets passive MP restoration at the start of her turns or after battles. So yeah, there's that. We're gonna drop a save here because I don't know what we're going to encounter. If we talk to, I think we talked to that person that was staying there, and she said that there's like some like group of someone causing a rabble or a circus or whatever. And they're, you know, supposedly not necessarily friends, and they're just being obnoxious, but they could be evil. I don't know. And she's not going to be the only one to tell us that. This guy is going to tell us that this place is blockaded since the whole world tree fell. But I want to get to Porto Valor. Because I want to check, I want to see if the shops have different equipment for us to buy. And likewise the casino. Also, remember when that one casino person, the one for the 100 ticket or 100 token minimum bet, that poker table, and she said she wanted to see us when we're a little bit older. Well, it's been a few months at least in the game time. But we can get to Porto Valor by going down through the cave that way. I'm not really sure why then we needed to block off that one passage. It doesn't seem like there's too much of a point to that. More stupid Iron Maidens. Well, I don't feel like fighting any of this. So let's just go into the city. And I'm like 99% sure that the jars that we've already smashed are not going to be refilled with something else. I do test out a few of them in here, you know, just to be sure. So I don't think we're going to have to completely re-explore towns all over again. And the people around here also talk about whatever this rowdy crew is causing a rabble. I don't even know where they're causing it. Because I'm like, oh, well, maybe if I go over there instead of up to that Mount Pang Li or whatever it is, that I'll find some of my characters before I climb up that mountain. So we're going to check that out as well. Yeah, so here we go. Weapon shop. Let's see what they have. They do have new equipment. This was not here before. I don't know the magic number or the damage formula or anything, but in order to replace the second strike on the Falcon Blade, I want to have at least 50 more attack than what I'm getting out of the Falcon Blade. I don't know if that's going to be enough to do it, but that's where I'm going to start my test with that. So basically I'm going to ignore any swords that don't give me more than 50 attack than what I currently have. Oh, and the other thing about swords. I think we'll be okay with it because I'm sure, well, we've seen the Sword of Light. I'm going to imagine that Jace is going to get that at some point. There's like always some sort of sword, shield, and armor that only the hero of the game can equip, or the luminary. And so that means the second best equipment, which Luminary is also capable of equipping, will just kind of sit around. So I'm not too worried about equipment for Hendrick, or, you know, being short on equipment or specialized equipment, because there's probably a set of a sword and armor in that only the Luminary can equip. So Hendrick getting the second best isn't really an issue, because the second best will really be, you know, the best that he could equip anyways, because he can't equip the sword that only the Luminary can equip. This is not what I want to see. The casino's not open. What do you mean it's not open yet? The world's been thrown into chaos, and people just need an outlet to have some fun, and they must be redoing some things at the casino. Take that, pumpkins. Okay, yeah, there's like no other reason for me to be here, really. Oh, there's a sparkle spot over there. Do you say anything? Nothing that I really care about now. Just depressed. You're on the beach. Have a good time while you're on the beach. The beach is not a place to be all depressed at. It's a place where you have fun and go swimming and whatnot. If you want to go be depressed somewhere, go back to your house. Yeah, so this is just me, you know, I want to test and see if, of course you can't pick those barrels up anyways. Oh, I'm gonna go check that, what's his name, Don Quixote? That's not really his name, it's Don whatever his name is. I don't know if this stuff is new. I don't care about any of this stuff. Okay, so we'll come over to here. Don Rodrigo, that was his name. But apparently he's injured or something, injured or sick, and we're not going to be able to see him. But we weren't able to go into this room before, so this is new stuff. At today's tournament, Norberto. And then it talks about how Signoro Norberto left. This is again the Don Rodrigo's son that left one day and then never heard from him again. I still have my suspicions that Silvando is really Signor Norberto. Not sure what the deal is between him and his dad, if that really is the case, but I'm just, you know, coming up with a hypothesis of what we've known and seen thus far in the game. And yeah, this guy, he's gonna be like, oh, Don Hendrick. Alright, so I'm also going to try to... So we're going to go back to the... I'm going to teleport us back to the campsite off camera, and we'll pick up there next time.